Welcome back to the Marketing Week Live studio, where I'm joined by Spencer Waldron, who is the Regional Director for Prezi here in Europe. Thank you very much. Now, Prezi.
Yes.
I knew about Prezi a little while ago now, and I was always impressed with people who gave the Prezi presentations because they came to life in ways that presentations that I'd received, I'd been on the receiving end of previously, didn't come to life.
Yep.
That's great. That was a few years ago now. What's happened in the intervening period up to where we are here today at Marketing Week Live 2018?
Yep, okay. So we've been up and running now for about 9 years. And like you say, we did kind of very, very good things and fast things in the beginning.
Sure.
So basically we've been under quite a big change of the platform. So we've changed a lot of the back-end technology over to HTML5. And we've also kind of moved away from being just a presentation software, if you like, and more to a presentation platform. So we've kind of added in a lot of features and integrations with other tools, such as Salesforce and Slack and things like that, and also analytics. So people can, if you send somebody a presentation, you can kind of see what part of the content that they interact with. And I think the biggest change for us in the market is a different way of doing presenting, which we call conversational presenting. And it's this idea that, if marketing's doing its job properly, then people can get a lot of information from websites and social media about making a purchase decision. So when they then come to talk to a salesperson, then they have like some gaps in their information that they want to know, or a fear that they have of making that next stage.
The typical barriers to purchase.
Exactly. So it seems pretty silly these days to still say, okay, I've got this presentation and I'm going to take you through the whole thing, because they probably know most of that content. So the idea is you have this one presentation that has all the information that you might need to talk about, but you don't know what you're going to talk about until you have that conversation with somebody. Sure. And then as it becomes apparent where their interest is, then you can just kind of zoom straight to that piece of content and and deal with the information need or the fear.
It makes perfect sense, and as we're discussing, the technology certainly did need a rewrite, moving it onto a platform so there are integrations with Salesforce and so on. That all makes perfect sense. If I still need to give a presentation, and goodness knows I try to avoid it as much as possible, were I to look at Prezi now, with all of the extra bells and whistles that are on Prezi 2.0 or whatever you're calling it now, will I still be able to do a kind of basic presentation, all spinning, all dancing, all kind of immersive like?
Yeah, you definitely will, and you should be able to do it much quicker than before. Good. So a lot of the changes that we made along that journey was working out how do people build presentations and how can we make it quicker and easier for people to build it, because everybody's very busy and has a lot of things on their plate. So you should find now that it's much quicker and much easier to kind of put that Prezi together.
Good to hear. So that's the past. Let's talk about the present in that case. And you're present here at Marketing Week Live because you were doing something a little bit even more augmented this morning, weren't you?
So last year we launched an augmented reality version of Prezi, and again that's a reflection of more and more presentations are online. Whereas again in the past, like if you were going to give a presentation, especially as a salesperson, you would actually go to their office and give the presentation. Whereas now, a lot of the time it's on Skype or Zoom or BlueJeans or some kind of video conferencing tool. So the idea is that you can still have that conversation online with somebody, but instead of your picture or your face disappearing and your presentation appears on the screen as you do the share, then you can have both you and the presentation on the screen at the same time. So we were happy to come and support you guys with the Room 101 session, and we created an augmented version of Room 101 that the panelists could put the content into.
And it looked great as well.
Thank you.
Listen, Spencer, really pleased that you've been able to join us here today. Good luck with the rest of the event, and hope to see you again next year, and you can share even more stories from Prezi. Thank you very much.
Happy to be there. Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.